Hey there folks, back at you with another series on a 6.0, I changed the name on it, 6.0 delete. I think that's funny. Anyway, on the 6.0 to 7.3 swap, we got, if you look at the other videos, we got quite a bit done. Now we're getting into ripping out the dash. So here we go. Please like and subscribe, helps the channel out a lot and don't cost nothing. Let's get past the intro. Let's get into this. Alright, so we're getting ready to rip this dash out, steering wheel and all that stuff. So anyway, already got started on that end, already got some stuff out. Saying, well Tia, why are you doing outside? Well, first of all, it's beautiful and gorgeous weather, so why not? Second of all, it's doggone full in here. Ain't got no more room. Got another job sitting right there, that John Deere. There's videos on that too, by the way. So yeah, this year's coming up. It's gonna be hat gaskets. So if you want to see a video on that, let me know. And we'll see what if I can put something together on that. But anyway, sidetracking, squirrel. Here we go. So we're gonna start ripping the dash out and let's get busy. Here we go. All right, look at that. Coming along, we got the dash loose. So now we're just, I lay the steering wheel on the seat for the time being. I'm gonna start taking this all apart. Go to the back side or the other side there, passenger side. It's a little cramp around here, but it's all right. So here you see part of the frame. Let's see if we can get this sucker lifted out. Yep. Looks like we still got some stuff here to take loose. Radio antenna. There's some more wiring back there too. So let me work on that. We'll bring it back. So here we go. All right. Dash completely loose and out. Look at all that. There you go. Have a quick peek on the other side. Got sitting on the seats right now. Waiting on my boys to show up and they can give me a quick hand in pulling this thing out and slide it right on out. So here we go. Completely out. Wiring harness. Everything else, vacuum hoses for the HVAC, all the plugs, and this is what's left. Now the biggest thing will be to see what we need from this to go in there, but I guess we'll figure that one out. But yeah, there you go. Dash is out. The only thing now is get the other one out, and then clean this one up a little bit, because they hacked the wiring up a little bit over there at the steering column to add flashing lights and strobe lights, I should say. So I mean, there's, you know, crap like this. I just wish that people would not cut into a main wiring harness like that. It blows my mind. It's frustrating. It's asking for trouble, and this is what you end up with, you know, a bunch of hacked up shit. But anyway, and here's our big plug right here that goes into that firewall. But yeah, so you know, you gotta figure this out, right? I mean, I don't know, I hate it when people do that. But anywho, got her out. Like I said, waiting on my boys to give me a quick hand, and we'll go from there. So we'll be back. Oh, well, look at that. This is the old Ford dash. And then outside, right here, that's the 7.3 dash. Look at that. So yeah, well, waiting on some help to muscle these out and put them on my sawhorses, but once we get that done, we'll bring you back. All right, here we go. All right, we got the wiring harness all out of this dash. This thing is bare bones now. Those are just some vacuum lines right there for the HVAC. And I laid the plug out, or the wiring harness out, and I'm missing a bunch of plugs. And yes, there's a lot of tags. I'll label it so that way when I start putting everything back together, I know what's what. Saves me a bunch of confusion. So, and right now I ran into a snag, and so it's going to be another week before I get back on it. So this way I can keep track of what's what. I'm missing a bunch of plugs, like on that side right there, because this wiring harness comes out of that donor truck, which is a XL regular cab with manual windows, and this here has electrical windows and locks, and it's a crew cab. So we're missing just the gem module, the body module, and already bought one. As you can tell, we're missing a bunch of plugs right there, so that's where it started. I'm missing a bunch of plugs over there too. So I think I found me another wiring harness, so I need to get that order in and get that coming, which is for an XLT, which should work with this, because it's got the more plugs and stuff like that for the body module, and like on over there in that corner right there where that kick panel normally sits. I got the brake pedal swapped out and the throttle pedal, so we got that done. We've got the four-wheel drive shifter installed. So here are the old ones. No need for that. So this will simplify it a bunch. And then the key is to make this wiring harness, dash wiring harness, to make that marry into the existing wiring harness here and there and all that. And then when that's done, then I can take this wiring harness and put it in there, and then put the whole dash back in, and everything will plug up and, you know, should work, right? But all right, so let me place that order on that other wiring harness, and then I'll bring it back. All right, here we go. All right, look at that. We got yourself a new wiring harness. Yeah. This comes out of a 2001 XLT automatic transmission, electric four-wheel drive. Well, I can care less about the electric four-wheel drive, but because we got manual in there. Biggest problem that I was running into was a bunch of the plugs. You know, this black one here, for example. That one, this one here only had 2, but that's because this wiring harness here came out of a XL with manual windows and a regular cab, and so yeah, I'm missing some plugs and a boatload of wires. Got me another body module, gem module, to go on here, so I have to swap that out. And then I got started on pulling the wiring harness out right here. So this here is off the 04, so this goes to the fuse box. These two come here. That's for your lights. You got to take the steering column apart, because you know, this plug here, you got to change the switch out, the turn signal switch, you know, the wiper brights turn signal switch, because these are the ones that go into the 6.0, and for a 7.3 they look, let me see here, right here, they look completely different. So yeah, so you have to switch that out to make that work. These wires are for the instrument panel. This here is for the four-wheel drive, and then this here is for the power point. And then the only thing I gotta do yet is pull this one out, unplug it here in the back, and then roll this whole dash forward, and then come from behind and pull it all out and put in the other wiring harness. So yeah, here we go. Let the fun begin. All right, we got the harness in. Ran into a couple small snags like this for your airbag and stuff like that. The plug is quite a bit different, so I just depinned this one here off the 01 harness and pinned it back into the 04 plug, and now this plug is fine. Another snag you run into is the shifter for the overdrive. That plug is a little different right there, so I just changed the shifter out, which is pretty easy. I mean, you slip this off right here, and then let's see, right there, and then there's your pin right there. Pull that out, and then you just change the shifter out. It's really easy. So I'm getting ready to put all this back together. I got the dash in. That's all done. I've got all the wires. What was that? Something just settling? Yeah, I think so. So I got this all done. This is basically ready to go. So this is for your power points. Four-wheel drive electric shift, which we don't have because we got a manual shift. Well, look at that. We got ourselves a little visitor. Hey there, kitty. What you doing? Yeah. Look at this little fella. Yeah. Oh, you hear that purr box? Oh, that purr box is going. Alright, anyway, let's keep busy here. So now working on the fuse box basically, and then this is the gem module or body control module, or however you want to call it. This is for the regular cab. And on the new wiring harness, we got two big plugs, so I got me one of these. So I basically just plug that in right there somewhere. There it is. I'm gonna put the screws in it, and plug the big plugs in, and then mount this thing, and that's it. That's that. So I'm going to get busy with that, and we'll bring you right back. What you doing there, little fella? What you doing there, little fella? Yeah. Meow. Look at you. Well, this is an interesting one. I had nothing else than trouble with the blower. Couldn't get the blower to work. So you know, it didn't want to change directions, and the vacuum pump wasn't working either. So I'm not sure, because that other wiring harness that I put in there, I'm not sure if it don't match up somehow, or, but anyway, so I figured, you know what, I'm gonna rip her out. I'm gonna put the plain Jane 7.3 wiring harness in there, because this is what we found when I've been testing here. This for the door locks right here, as you can tell, lock. And we done some testing here. I just hook up a wire And then so and I'll mark the plug. So I got 2 grounds that come out right there in that plug, and then I've got 2 that come here and here, 1 on each side. So if I now I have to double check the wiring harness to see what's what. But if I gotta guess, passenger side and driver side, because I found right here I basically applied this, almost the same method. I looked at the fuse box because these plugs right here came straight out of the fuse box, and then I plugged the fuse box right in, powered up the fuse box, and then all of a sudden my windows started working and stuff like that. So then I took the fuse box off, powered up the fuse box again, checked to see what was hot, and yeah, anyway. So here I marked these right here, 2 yellow, 1 white one. The white is for the windows, up and down, all the way around. Driver's side seat for moving back and forth, and powering up the passenger side seat. And then on this one right here, that's for the power windows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to de-pin these, and then or just cut them, and then just make one, and make a little wiring harness on its own for this. Find me a key hot or key on hot wire, and then put some fuses in, inline fuses on these lines right here, so that way when the key is on, it powers up the windows. And I want to do the same thing for the doors, for the locks. And then the only other thing I still have to figure out is the dome lights, because they don't want to work. So that will be another interesting one. But yeah, so now I got the door locks figured out and stuff like that. So I was really hoping to start the truck up in the video, but that did not happen. I mean, I struggled basically for half a day and trying to figure out what's what and why certain things just didn't want to work at all. So and I got to the point where you know what, there's only one common denominator on this, and that is the wiring harness, because the blue truck worked before and the donor truck worked before just fine. So rip it out. We're going to put this one in, and since I figured out how to do this with the doors or the windows and all that stuff, I figure, you know what, I only need a plain Jane wiring harness. I don't need nothing fancy. I'll just hardwire the door functions in, like I just explained, with inline fuses, and yeah, make it work that way. So all right, we'll bring you back when we got more news for you. All right, here we go. Well, look at that. It's starting to look like a truck again. So I got the dash in, got the steering wheel hooked up. Just about got everything to work. I still ordered some stuff, and got to wait for that to come in, and then I can make the door locks work. Right now, windows work. So got that figured out. And then if we turn the key on, power seats work. Power windows work. Got that all figured out. Everything else works. Blower works. The heat selector works. So got that figured out, and that got all the work because of the wiring harness. The only thing that does not work right now is the actual gauges on the instrument panel and the wipers. And the wipers only work if I put the key all the way backwards in auxiliary mode. Well, they were working. Now I don't know. Oh, one more. There we go. See that? So I still got to figure out why that's you know, doing what it's doing. So, and then I've got the dome lights to work. I've done that right here. And the reason why I'm done it this way, because customers said he did not want to do the whole wiring harness removal and stuff like that. He says that, you know, just get it wired in and he'll be fine with that. So now the dome lights work. So, and that's with key off. So dome lights always work. So if he has to open a door, grab something out of his truck, the only thing I have to do is just hit that button right there. And then windows always work with the key off, so no matter what happens, he can always run the windows. And so the power seat don't work unless the truck is on. The only thing I haven't got to work yet is this here is pretty interesting. I couldn't figure out why I couldn't get the vacuum pump to work, and you need that to work so you can go from defrost to you know, and stuff like that. So here's the vacuum pump right here, and this is the 04. So look at that. So we got a pin, if you look at the back side here, so you got a pin right here and a pin right there. And on the 04, I'll show you here with a mirror. On the 04, can you tell? The pins are all on one side instead of crossed. So, and this one here is still good, so I'm just gonna unpin this and move this wire to this side, and then the vacuum should work. So we got that all done. And put this mirror back. So we got that figured out, and the only thing I still have to figure out is why my gauges don't work. The warning lights work on the instrument panel, as you can tell. I can't get the gauges to work, you know, but we'll figure that out. Like I said, this is the original wiring harness out of the donor truck, so that basically made everything work. But because it's plain Jane, it's got a lot of stuff that's not on there, and like I said, the customer just wanted to keep it simple, and this is how I did that. You know, it's not, you know, if it was my truck, I don't think I would do it this way, but he's perfectly happy with it. He says, you know, just keep it simple and get it fixed and get it going. So I've got right here power mirrors and windows, and then here is the dome light, and I got one more right here that is for your power seats. And these are actually pretty cool little gizmos, if you ask me. I'll show you what I used for that. They're inline fuses that you basically replace the fuse with, and then this fuse is for the original spot, and then the second fuse right here is for whatever you're hooking up. So, you know, and then you can just put the right fuse in there. So if the original one is 10 amps and whatever you're drawing now is going to be, let's say, 15 amps, then you put a 15 amp fuse in there. That way you don't have to cut into the existing wiring harness, which I think is awesome. And you know, on the end of the day, it's not perfect, but it's a happy medium. So it is, I feel like it's fairly clean, so it'll work. There's some extra wiring here for remote start. He's going to have one of his family members that is into that kind of stuff install that back on this. That's why I left certain wires there for the remote start. Here's some other stuff for the remote start. So And the only thing he has to do then is just plumb right back into those existing wires, and everything should work. I still got the module and all that stuff too. So, but yeah. Next video, we're going to call it quits here. Next video, we'll finish this up. Like I said, the only thing I got to do is just for the door lock and figure out the cluster. I've got some relays coming for that, and I'll show you how I do that. And then on the next video, we're going to start this truck up and show you how it runs and drives. So next video is finishing up the wiring, and then first startup, and then we're going to finish up the front. You know, get that all done, headlights and stuff like that. So yeah, will be interesting. So yeah, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot and don't cost nothing. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.